Hey you guys, it's me Kiana coming at you yet again today. And I decided to do this video. It's still early, it's 10 something. I still have my night clothes on, but I wanted to talk to you guys about something. And it's regarding, if you looked at my videos from yesterday, you would see that I shared a picture with you guys of my ex that I was with for 7, actually, to be honest, 8 years. And I did videos a long time ago. I think it's like 600 videos back explaining to you guys who that person is. And that person's name is Shawn. And I showed you guys the picture yesterday. And I did that because my old subbies remember me talking about Shawn. And they know so much about Shawn. But they never saw him. And a lot of people used to ask to, um, hey baby, a lot of people used to ask to, and I never um, showed it. So I finally did. So I wanted to talk to you guys because I got a lot of comments, and none of them were bad or anything. Chuck and Lil Chuck's right here, looking real crazy. Anyway, none of them were bad, okay? But I wanted to basically so you guys can understand why I'm able to talk about the person and why I it's not a real big issue in our household. Now, um, a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of having someone, a loved one, in jail, um, and how you're able to move on, um, to love others and to care about others, but still have a bond still with someone that you were with previously, the person that is in jail. And it's hard for me to explain it so that you can actually get it if you've never experienced anything like this. The people that's going to get it are people that have experienced this in some way, shape, or form. When I say these things, they're going to be like, yep, that's exactly it. But people that have never experienced it before are very judgmental. They shake their head. They don't understand. And I'm not so close-minded that I would say I don't know why you don't understand, because it's not for everybody to understand. You actually have to endure it to actually get the whole concept or grasp the whole concept. And if you haven't endured it, you have to really understand how one can really be institutionalized, the how the government actually works as far as incarcerations. You have to understand the ratio as far as African Americans being in jail and incarcerated, within their lifetime, and you have to understand a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, now, so I'll try to explain it to you as clearly as possible. But while I'm explaining to you, I need you to understand that even if it's not something that you would do, I'm trying to explain to you what has been on my heart or what my life has endured. That's what I'm trying to come off to you. I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I'm not trying to be judged as such. Um, and to be honest with you, I won't even approve a comment that will even be anything like that, because that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of the video is not to get approval, but rather than to express and hopefully explain as much as possible what goes on. Now, when a person is incarcerated, it's almost like it's a time capsule. And they're in a time warp because they actually are almost stunned into that phase that they got incarcerated that year, or that mental state, or it's almost like they've been frozen in time. But in a way, the people that love them, even though they go on, it's a part of them that is also frozen in time. Um, Even though I can go on and love another, you still have that frozen part of you that still holds high, cares about the person, even if it's not romantically. Now, of course, if you had a bad situation with the person, because I've talked to many people since last night that had bad situations with the people, of course you're not going to have this way of thinking. But if you haven't never had a bad um, or a bad reaction or a bad situation with the person, then you're going to have this frozen in time mentality. Okay. Now, the thing is that you have an option. You have an option to wait and wait and wait. And the reality is, most people don't technically wait. What they do is what I did for many, many, many years, which is my intentions were to wait. But I came across people that not only piqued my curiosity, but were good men. And I did wind up falling for some of them, okay? But at the same time, in falling for them, I always maintained this frozen in time mentality for Shawn. And I always kept him a part of my life. Now, sometimes I won't lie, I was deceitful, but that was in the beginning. Towards the beginning to middle of our relationships that I've had in the past, all of them knew about Shawn. Every man I've ever had, whether friendship, whether a relationship, they all knew about Shawn. Everybody. And I did this because eventually I got taught of sneaking, to be honest. And then also, I have a heart, so I got taught of misleading. That didn't take away the caring about them and wanting to grow in a relationship with them, but I still always had a piece of my mind frozen, and in turn, a piece of my heart. And I always wish the best for him, Shawn. Um, to be honest with you, whether again right or wrong, it's times that over the years that I've struggled after I got my divorce from my ex-husband, and I had to get back on my feet. I went from owning a daycare center to closing down because it was with my ex-husband. Closing down, had losing my license as far as I just went ahead and let it go. Um, I went from that to being poverty stricken, and not wanting to turn to the government because at that point I had never did it before. Um, you know, and like I said, whether right or wrong, Shawn did his thing in there because he was in there so long. So Shawn had a certain level in there with doing some things that maybe some would be considered wrong. Okay, let me just say that. And Shawn took care of me, to be honest with you. I was not one of those chicks that went to see a man and gave up their money. I'm going to be honest with you. Over the 8 years, I've sent Shawn 3 money orders over 8 years. And to be honest with you, Shawn literally took care of me financially. Yes, from jail. A lot of people don't understand that that can happen, but it's reality and it's the truth. Um, I needed security deposit money. Shawn gave. I didn't want to go on food stamps. Shawn gave. You know, when me and Nene needed food in the refrigerator, Shawn gave it. Literally. Um, so to be one of those women that take care of a man in jail, I don't know that. I don't know that life. I really don't. And this is the honest God truth. Um, some people would say, well, he's a very attractive guy. What is he getting from you to do that? He grew to be attached to me, just like I grew to be attached to him. And when you date somebody that's in jail, and I have to stress that I knew him before. Okay, we actually was long lost loves before. But when you're dating somebody that's in jail, or you have a relationship with a guy that's in jail, it's complicated, but it's not. It sounds complicated for outsiders to view, but it's not. As far as you don't have what everybody else has to rely on. Men rely on cars. Men rely on, oh, I got the nicest car, I got the nicest job, I got the nicest, you know, clothes. I'm smooth like that. They rely on things like that. A man in jail cannot rely on those things. So he has to come, A, with a lot of game, or B, he has to come with a lot of his heart, a lot of trying to actually grow a connection with somebody. And in our case, we opened up, and I've opened up to him about things that I never would have opened up to anybody about, and him as well. Um, I know so much about Shawn that if I ever turned it over to the to the correction institute, he would serve probably life. Okay, so you know you can no longer a man or a woman can no longer rely on superficial stupid stuff like relationships on the street can. So you grow this connection, you grow this connection with this person on a different level than what you can do to somebody on the street, because somebody on the street is still a little reserved. They still are going to hold back some things. Men in jail do that as well, but if they really, really, really start to actually have a true connection with you, they will open up a little bit more than a man on the street. Um, Now, I'm able to talk about these things, and people will say, well, how does Chuck feel about this? The fact is, I come with a past. I come with my own truth. And I can sit and lie to Chuck and never mention Shawn's name ever in life. But Chuck has grown to understand, and I've always made sure anybody I'm with has understood that I still care about that person as a person in general. That's just like if somebody on the street was to do something for you, wouldn't you still care about that person's well being? Because they were there for you when nobody else was. I can't be that type of person that would push somebody underneath the rug and just totally forget about them forever if they've really been there for me. That wouldn't be right. I don't care who you are, man, woman, or child. Now, does Chuck like the idea of who Shawn is and stuff? No, he does not. In fact, I don't even really say Shawn's name that often. I'd rather say that person, okay, because Chuck does not like it, okay? Can he make me erase my memories? Can he make me erase caring for that person? No, he cannot. But what he can do is he can love me just as I love him, despite our past, despite our memories. Um, and I can just respect him by not talking about the person to him, um, not rubbing anything in his face, not comparing him to that person. That's how I can show my respect to him. But to actually shut my mouth totally to the person as far as to discuss it right now, um, no, I won't do that. And he wouldn't ask me to do that because then that would be unfair to me and that would be muting my own feelings. And that's not love to me. When someone is actually muting things that you have on your heart or want to say, that's not the kind of relationship Chuck and I have. So the tape is actually ready to cut off. So I'm going to pick up where part two and tell you um, more about the Shawn issue, and also some more about people ask me when is he getting out, and I think you'll be surprised about that answer, and also more about how Chuck feels about the situation. So on that note, you guys, good morning to you, and be blessed.